I am a currently gold player. I'm very, 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 very close to hitting platinum. I'm literally like one match away from hitting platinum right now. But I thought it would be kind of fun to do a tier list from my perspective. This tier list is not me trying to figure out who is the actual best character. This is not me going a lot into matchups because I have really only played Cammy. I did a character guide for Ken, not like on my channel. I mean, like I played through the character guide for Ken, and that's all the experience I have playing characters other than Cammy. I just picked Cammy and I stuck with her so that I could get to know the game with one character and get to know one character well. So I do not know what I'm doing with most of these characters, and I am purely going to be ranking their strength based on my experience, mostly playing against them more than anything. So without further ado, let's just jump into it here. Ryu is, he's like Ken, but like not as good. That's really pretty much all the vibes I get from him. Every once in a while, he like charges up his electric Hadouken thing, and that makes me a little bit stressed out, but usually that's not even that big a deal. I feel like most people charge up and then never put it to good use anyway. So that being said, because I see so many Kens, and I kind of know how to play against Ryu's character in general, I am going to put Ryu down. I'm just going to start Ryu in the D tier. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, everybody's good. I'm just going to put SAB. I'm going to try and mostly fill out the tiers here. I don't know how much is going to end up in F tier, but, we'll see. Luke. Luke is another character I have seen a lot at low ranks, but I find him significantly harder to play against than Ryu. Mostly because his fireballs are a pain in the butt. They're so fast, and half the time I can't react to them. And so I will say that, combined with the fact that I feel like I've seen people pulling off insane combos with Luke from like bronze, I am going to put Luke all the way up at A tier. Luke is somebody that I am frequently afraid of and don't really want to face off against. Jury is yet another character that I have seen a whole bunch at pretty much every rank. There's just always juries. There is rarely a night when I get on and don't fight at least one jury, even when I'm not playing for that long. So Jury is somebody that I understand her kit fairly well. I understand some of the ways that I can counter that. That said, my reactions are not perfect, so her dive kick really gets me far too often. Her anti-airs will often really hurt me because I feel like she's got a pretty strong anti-air game, and Jury's drive rushes are freaking the worst. Not to mention, I don't know why, but I feel like Jury just really if I end up in the corner against the Jury, I just stay there, and it's super, super annoying. It's really hard to get out. So I am gonna put Jury in the A tier. Jamie. If you haven't been following my streams and videos, and perhaps you don't know that I freaking hate Jamie. I hate him so much. I don't know what it is about his drunken master stupid stuff, but like Jamie just irks me, and constantly is just beating me so badly in ways that I just don't understand. And like the pressure of knowing that he's gonna get a drink gets to me, and I just am like, no, I don't want him to get a drink, because I know if he gets to level 4, like that's real bad. I have only beat a level 4 Jamie, that's got full drunken master stuff going on like a couple of times. So I'm always worried about that. Not to mention he has all these like little hits that'll break your drive impacts, which obviously is a great strategy at my rank. Drive impacts often work very frequently. It's a very good strategy so often. I have trouble with that. He's got the weird like water punch move. I don't know even what to call it because I don't know all the names for all these moves, but that gets me a lot of times. And then to top it all off, he just break dances to beat the hell out of me, and that makes it even more humiliating. So I am gonna go ahead and put Jamie in S tier. Now, again, this is where I reiterate. I recognize that people don't think Jamie's that good. I understand that in general, Jamie may not be the best character, but I hate his ass. So he's going to go in S tier. He gets me far too often. Marisa is an interesting case because I feel like half the time Marisa absolutely destroys me in a way that is like not even funny. It's like 3 combos and I am just dead. And her and Zangief, I think, will probably land in a similar place on the list. We'll see. But I find with Marisa that she's kind of got this weird dichotomy of being fairly punishable, and that is very nice. Like, it's pretty easy compared to other characters to react to what Marisa is doing. However, if she hits me like even one time, half my health bar is just deleted, and that is super frustrating. And so, like, yeah, if I'm right on top of my game, then maybe Marisa's not so bad, but I'm a gold player. I am not on top of my game a very large percentage of the time. And so I am going to go ahead and put Marisa in B tier. I just feel like the fact that I can do really well for a while in a match and then she can still just come back and destroy any lead that I have is just frustrating enough that I'm going to put her there. Honda. Oh, Honda. We all know Honda's headbutts are the absolute worst. And so are his butt slams. However, that's about what he's got going for him. He's got like the 1,000 hands little thing, you know, that he's got going on. The headbutt and the butt slam are scary. And they will hit me in at least once in pretty much any match I play against Honda. However, I have come to learn how to expect those. And so many Honda players only have those things. So now that I've gotten to know the timing of Honda's headbutts and his butt slams, I would actually say that while this character used to absolutely destroy me like every time I came up against him, I've actually been doing pretty good against most Hondas that I've been fighting because they just try and butt slam and headbutt their way to victory. And you know what? It honestly doesn't work very often. So I am going to go ahead and put Honda with Ryu in... No, never mind. He's better than Ryu. We're going to put him in C tier. When the headbutts work, they really work. They do. But players in my rank do not know how to like actually change it up well enough to make Honda scarier. So C it is. Dhalsim is a really weird case for me, honestly. I don't know the last time I played against a Dhalsim. Like, I know that I've played against a few Dhalsims in ranked, but like, it's been legitimately probably a few weeks at least since I have seen Dhalsim. So I'm not 100% sure where to put him. That said, the fact that I almost never see Dhalsim does make him a little scarier because I don't really know a lot about how to respond to his moves. His long arms do make things a little complicated as far as like, how do I get in there and actually do any kind of good offense? How do I close that distance? But I feel like as I've learned to do drive rushes a little bit better, then maybe that would help. So I don't know. Dhalsim, I'm just going to put him probably at a B tier here because I feel like I maybe could beat him, but also I'm a little terrified of what it's going to be like if I finally meet a Dhalsim in Platinum that has actually worked their way up there and knows how to use this character. Chun-Li is a relatively common character. Not crazy common, but I see a Chun-Li pretty regularly. Despite that, Chun-Li has continued to be a really tough character to fight against. I don't know. I feel like she's got a lot of different options available to her. And from my perspective, they all seem like pretty good options. She's got some good anti-air. She's got like some crazy low attacks, some overheads. She's got her 1,000 kicks. I don't know what the move is called, and I probably should, but It breaks the eyes. I know that. I know that it breaks my drive impacts all the time. So I would say Chun-Li, because she is so frequently difficult to beat, even though I've seen a lot of Chun-Li's, I'm going to put Chun-Li at S tier. You know what? Honestly, Chun-Li's probably better. I'm not keeping these all in order or whatever, but Chun-Li's definitely better than Jamie. I just really freaking hate Jamie, and I won't forgive him for breakdancing to kill me, and he will stay in S tier. Controversial or not, I don't care. Guile is... Guile is a strange case. Like Luke, Guile's fireballs are often too fast for me to actually like totally react to. So sometimes I'm like trying to predict when the fireball is coming so that I can use my little Cammy spin knuckle to get around the fireballs. And see, this one's just so tough because when Guile is playing his best game and is just keeping me super far away and knows how to use the different types of fireballs. I know he's got something that like just leaves like a little tornado in front of him. And when he's mixing up with like the tornado thing with the fireballs, and then he's got, you know, like the flash kicks. When somebody knows how to use his whole kit and actually change it up, it's really scary and super hard to deal with. And I honestly I really struggle. If there is a good Guile, I am going to struggle with him for sure. That said, not a lot of great Guiles out there. And I feel like there's a lot of them that are pretty predictable and use like 2 moves. And because of that, I'm going to put Guile at B tier. He's one where like sometimes I expect a Guile to come out of the gates and just be real scary. But I don't know. I kind of know what he's got up his sleeve for the most part of this rank, and I'm not terrified when I see a Guile like I used to be. Kimberly. A tier. I know I didn't discuss this one, but Kimberly has such a strong mix-up game that I oftentimes, if I am playing against an aggressive Kimberly player, feel like I can barely get a hit in. She's got her teleport, she's got the slide, so you know she's coming from above you, she's coming from below you. She's got the whole move that bounces off of you basically, and then she'll like grab you. I don't even know how to describe all of her moves, but I have found her so frustrating to play against sometimes because I feel like I'll keep distance to try and play it smart and be able to react, but then she just moves in so quickly I don't react to anything and get destroyed. And I know I should just work on my reactions, but right now Kimberly is a real threat, and playing against a Kimberly goes very poorly on a very regular basis and really changes the way that I need to play, where I feel like against the Kimberly I have to be putting on my own stronger offense more than putting on like a good defense. At least up to this point, that's been how I found success against Kimberly. And the fact that I have to change up how I'm playing to beat her definitely puts her higher on the list. Ken is definitely the character I have seen the most on this list. In ranked, it is shocking if I go a day without seeing a Ken. I would be shocked if there are not literally the most Kens out of any other character in ranked, because I see so many Kens. I see back-to-back Kens. I see different styles of Ken sometimes, yeah, but because I've seen so many Kens and I know that he's a strong character, I know I've seen the tier list that other people make. I have. I know that people are saying Ken is one of the strongest characters in the game, period. I mean, I watched Evo. I've watched some of these tournaments. Ken's crazy. He's a great character. But I know how to play against Ken better than any other character on this list because I've played against so many of them. I'm sure as I get into higher levels, that matters a little less. But right now, I'm going to put Ken at C tier, only because this is from my gold ranked player's perspective. There are so many gold ranked Kens, and Most of them play in a very similar way that is really easy to play against. And I would say I beat more Kens than anybody else. I mean, I guess I play against more Kens in general than anybody else, but like I'd probably have a higher win percentage against Ken. And so I'm going to put him in C tier. Blanka is like Dhalsim in that it has been a long time since I've seen Blanka at my rank. I don't see many Blankas. However, when I do see Blankas, I feel far less hope than when I see Dhalsim. Blanka and his Blanka ball and his little like, he does a little like slide grab thing. He just kind of slides on the ground and goes, rah. He does that. It's no good. And he's got the Blanka-chan doll thing that puts on a lot of pressure that I don't like. I think I'm going to put Blanka in S tier. I say that hesitantly, but I think the lack of experience and the fact that I really don't know how to respond well to like half of what he can throw at me still, because I haven't played against him enough, means S tier is probably a good spot for Blanka. Aki is new, obviously, as of making this video, so that definitely is a factor. I don't feel like Aki is like a super scary character to play against. That said, I feel like I have already seen people pull out some really strong combos with Aki very early on. At this point, I think I've played against enough Akis to know how to respond to her, and it doesn't feel that bad. Sure, I'm gonna come up on some strong ones, and when I do, that's gonna be scary. I think that puts her at B tier. Definitely a strong Aki is gonna be scary, but if I'm coming up on an Aki, I feel like I can handle it. It's not gonna be that bad. DJ, I feel like is such a strong character that I don't see that much, and I was just thinking about this the other day. I don't know why I don't see more DJs, because his drive rush is a freaking jump scare. It's so scary. Like you practically cannot react to that. You almost have to anticipate it, like you do like a Guile fireball, because it's so fast. And his double fireball can be a pain in the butt, even with my spin knuckle with Cammy. So that's a factor. He's another one that I'm like, do I want to put him in A tier or S tier? Because I really feel like he's maybe almost an S tier character. He's very good. But I think DJ is going to rest firmly in A tier. Oh, I didn't even mention, though, he does do the thing that I hate about Jamie, and that is dance while he's beating the hell out of you. Why you gotta dance while you're beating me? Like, I'll keep him in A tier, despite the dancing. The dancing almost promoted him. To S tier. I will keep him in A tier. I feel pretty confident about that one for now. Manon is super scary if she gets all her badges. And especially if in like round 1 she beats you and just gets badges on badges, then like that is real bad and scary and no good, and I do not like it, and it puts on a kind of pressure that is hard to overcome. But I think Manon rests pretty firmly in D tier. I feel like Manon has a pretty easy to respond to kit. Her grabs can be really stopped a lot of times by just kind of anticipating when they're going to come and jumping and then doing like an air attack. Like, it's not that big a deal usually. So I am going to put Manon in D tier. Ooh, JP, easy, S tier. Literally, no doubt, not even a second of wavering about where I'm going to put JP, because he is just a horrible pain. I hate JP more than anybody. I've beaten a couple of JPs in ranked. I've seen way too many JPs in ranked recently. And it's just the fact that JP can just hold you at full screen and just bounce you with his stupid attacks, and I'm not good at responding to everything yet. I only feel like I recently started to learn even a little bit how to respond at full screen. So like half the time that I'm playing against a JP, if they get me at full screen, I just stay there and die, or I stay there until I have a sliver of health left, and then I finally get in closer. And I think the worst part is with JP, he's not even bad when I get up close. Like if he's gonna be that good at full screen, oh my gosh, it makes me crazy that when I get close to him, he just hits me over the head with his stupid cane or knocks me out of the air with his stupid cane. Or, I hit him and he uses that one counter amnesia move. Oh, JP is just super frustrating to play against. And anytime I get in, I feel like I'm like 3 moves away from him just knocking me back out to full screen, where I have to try and pray that I can get close to him to hit him again. Especially with Cammy, like I don't have any ranged options. I can try and like spiral arrow or drive rush or do my little spin knuckle thing to try and get in, but it does not work out most of the time. And JP often kills me. So S tier, easy. Honestly, S tier might be the only one that's kind of ranked by character and not just the whole tier. But JP is like hands down the one that I least want to fight against always. Lily is another one of those characters I don't see that often. I would say I see her more than a Blanka, more than a Dhalsim, but not much more than anybody else. She's pretty low on the list as far as how many people are using her. That's probably an indicator of her not being that great a character, probably. But I'm going to put her in A tier because I don't know how to respond to her that well. And so every time I play against the Lily, I find myself struggling with her different special moves and all the different stuff that she's throwing at me. And I just never can really figure out when I should be trying to like throw a punch or when I should be trying to hit her. And I also am still not that great at anti-airs, and it seems like she does a lot up there in the air, and it seems like kind of a focus of a lot of her moves. So the fact that I just have such a hard time making any kind of good offensive moves against Lily means that I am going to put her in A tier. Definitely could see her going down as I get to play against more Lilies and understand her kit a little better and know better how to fight her, but for now, A tier. Zangief, much like Marisa, is pretty punishable, but way, way, way strong. And boy, if he punishes you, he really, really punishes you. I think at any given moment, if you are playing against Zangief, you are like 3 of his spinning pile driver? You're like 3 SPDs away from being dead at any moment. And so whiffing hard on Zangief is just the worst feeling, because you're like, here we go. He's gonna turn gold, and he's gonna grab me, and he's gonna spin up into the air, and he's gonna break my neck again. So Zangief is terrifying, and I hate that about him. I've beat plenty of Zangiefs, but he's beat me a lot of times. I'm pretty tempted to put him in A tier, but I've seen a lot of bad Zangiefs that are very predictable, very punishable, and that's gonna land him in B tier for now. Rashid is a character that I saw a whole bunch of, like, the week or 2 that he came out. He was a pain in the ass for that week or 2 because I had no idea how to beat him. But then I learned how to respond to, like, a lot of his moves. I learned about his Eagle Spike, which is definitely a bit of a jump scare move for sure. It's up there for me with DJ and Jury's drive rushes as far as being like a tough thing to prepare for. But I don't know, he doesn't seem like that great. He's fine. I don't really have a lot of strong feelings about Rashid, so I'm definitely between B and C tier, but I'm gonna go C tier for Rashid. I could kind of go either way, so why not? I add him to C tier. A little more even distribution. I'm not really thinking about that at all, but I have to have some reason to choose between B and C, so there he goes. We've come to Cammy. Very good. Cammy is the character I play all the time. I have played her for, I think, hundreds of hours now at this point. It's been a lot of hours. A lot of hours I played her. In pretty much every single match. No, literally, every single online match I have ever played of Street Fighter 6. I have played as Cammy. She's the character I know the most about. I enjoy playing Cammy a lot, and I am, for the time being, fairly dedicated to her, though I'm trying to get to know other characters. I would probably rank Cammy at A tier. I think Cammy belongs, more or less, in A tier. She's just a great all-around character. Cammy's spin knuckle is super great for projectiles of all kinds, even though sometimes you have to kind of respond ahead of time with the spin knuckle so that you have the time. With like Guile, his fireballs are super fast, right? Like spin knuckle is still a great option to have available all the time. Dive kicks are super great. Her anti-air is really pretty good. Her super is super good. I don't know. The only thing that's not great on Cammy is her hooligan, but definitely I think she's a great all-around character. So I would rank her in A. However, because I want to have something to blame when things go poorly, I'm going to rank her in F tier. You know what? I'm even going to rename F tier. P. Poo tier. That's right. While Cammy may belong in A tier, I'm putting her in poo tier. That way, every time I lose a game, every time I lose a match, I can take that classic mentality that protects me from feeling like I need to be vulnerable or better or anything like that, which is crazy. And I can just say, it's my character. They have a better character than me. I think that's going to be my philosophy. Put Cammy in poo tier, and it's never my fault if I lose now, because my character is the worst character. And everybody else is just playing a better character. And every time I beat them, it's just because I'm the best. But if I lose, what can you do when you have a poo character? If you made it this far in the video, please like the video. Why'd you watch a 20-30 minute video and not like it? Also, comment what you inevitably strongly disagree with, because I know this tier list is a little weird.